Open is concerned. Stunning, just stunning. If you saw what happened over there over 5 hours, and Carlos Alcaraz prevailing at the end. It'll go down in the history books as far as this match is concerned, because what Carlos Alcaraz has done tonight is not just left us with fond memories, but also enthralled us all. And what what that gumption for you to be for you to be 2 sets down and then mounting this sort of a comeback. There is so much to talk about, and let's not forget this man, just when you were looking at the closing stages of the fourth set, was also went ahead and saved 3 championship points. Let me repeat that, he saved 3 championship points. It doesn't happen every day that you save those many championship points. And he was just ruthless right towards the end. Carlos Alcaraz was just ruthless. There was so much in terms of the pendulum swinging that was happening every now and then, especially in the sixth set, where you saw some sort of inspiration from Jannik Sinner as well. And but ultimately, when it came down to the tiebreaker, both in the fifth set and both in the fourth set and the fifth set, there was only one guy who turned up in the tiebreaker, and that was Carlos Alcaraz. I see him weeping at the moment, and there must be just so many emotions he must be going through right now. But for you to defend 3 championship points and then and then go ahead and script history is just phenomenal. He's only become the third player in this century to go ahead and defend the French Open title. That hasn't happened very often, and he really saved his best for the last, as is what Sarat Chandra Yalamarti says. That's absolutely right as well. But for the first 2 sets, when you look at the scoreline, yes, he was in it, but he wasn't quite hitting the top gear in those first couple of sets. But after that, Jannik Sinner just sort of faded. There were times, as I said, in the fifth set, beg your pardon, that Jannik Sinner showed us some hope, especially when it was Carlos Alcaraz who was serving for when Carlos Alcaraz was going ahead and serving in the fourth set, and it was, I think, the 11th game that he was serving in, and that's when the tide completely changed. So much entertainment over there for Jannik Sinner. So many of your comments I see at the moment. And yes, my heart goes out to Jannik Sinner as well. He still has to wait, by the way, for his first Grand Slam title on clay and on grass as well. He hasn't won so far as those two surfaces are concerned. His success, as we've seen, has largely come on just hard courts. And going into this match as well, it was Alcaraz who had the advantage. The head to head was in favor of Carlos Alcaraz, and he's only gone ahead and bettered that. It was 6-4, if memory serves me right, in favor of Alcaraz, and he's now gone ahead and only bettered that. The previous meeting also, which happened in Rome, I believe, was also won in straight sets by Carlos Alcaraz. So as far as as far as playing on clay is concerned, Jannik Sinner is just struggling against Carlos Alcaraz at the moment. But for the man who hadn't dropped a single set coming into the final, to go ahead and lose 3 on the trot is some story over there. But entertaining stuff ultimately. That's all I will say. And the gumption of the mental strength of Carlos Alcaraz cannot be spoken about enough, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot for you to prevail in 2 out of the 3 tiebreakers that we saw. It was in the second set that he lost the tiebreaker, but the fourth and the fifth set, as we saw, ultimately he ended up winning those 2 tiebreakers comfortably. And lovely today what we saw from Carlos Alcaraz. He can be extremely proud of his effort today, and he's as I said, gone in the history books today to go ahead and successfully defend his French Open crown. So the crown isn't going anywhere. It did look like that it could be Jannik Sinner who steals that crown from him this time, purely basis on the form that we'd seen from Jannik Sinner coming into the final. But Carlos Alcaraz showing what he's made of yet again. The louder cheers, if you ask me, were for the defending champion, were for now the 2025 champion. But you could see that there's so much being said about him being the successor to Rafa Nadal, and you could see that the crowd really was chanting like that, was behaving like that. And perhaps you're seeing somebody who's going to be dominating on clay going forward. Maybe we've just gotten a glimpse of greatness over there, and a glimpse of the future perhaps, because Carlos Alcaraz just loves playing on clay, and we've seen that for two French Open editions now. So amazing stuff. It's Andre Agassi who's there now, soaking in the applause. He's going to be the one to hand over the silverware to both Sinner and Alcaraz. So I'll let you guys go ahead and enjoy those final visuals. There is obviously, as one of you pointed out in the comment section, there is the Nations League final as well to look forward to. So I'm going to be tuning into that one now, and yeah, good that this Sunday ended up, the action ended up going into Monday though. But you always want such evenings, right, where you just the whole evening watching good sport. And today was one such evening where we saw some very good tennis, and this is a final we're going to be talking about for a long time to come. So thank you guys for your company. I'm sorry I haven't been able to take your comments, but hopefully tomorrow we get a chance to go ahead and talk a little more about this, and I'll go watch the Nations League final, or you guys watch that one as well. And hopefully we get to talk about that one also tomorrow at the dugout. So thank you so much for your company. Go ahead, enjoy. There's more sporting action that awaits us all. And yeah, thank you and good night.